Hello, we are Team Link Art. It's a pleasure to present our integrated capstone, Creative Placemaking for City Vitality. In this presentation, you'll hear from a group of professionals from China majored in arts and cultural management, including Chelsea, Eric, Sabrina, Joy, and myself. We're passionate about applying what we learned from the program to lead innovations in our home country. We are going to walk you through our journey of discovering and defining opportunities in creative placemaking to develop vibrant future cities and delivering our designed solution. The cities in China have been growing extremely fast in the past 60 years. The criteria that we evaluate the attractiveness of a city has also been evolving, from an economic-driven view to a triple bottom line perspective that acknowledges the importance of culture, community, as well as commerce. The concept of city tiers are widely used to evaluate the scale and commercial value of a city among investors and real estate developers. While the city government is exploring new drivers to develop future cities, a new inclusive perspective is in demand. In 2017, Easthigh Global, a finance magazine and big data research institute, started to publish the annual ranking of cities' business attractiveness. Here is the 2020 result. They evaluated over 300 cities in total and redefined their tier classification. More than 75 indicators are used, including concentration of commercial resources, cities' pivotability, citizen vitality, lifestyle diversity, and flexibility in the future. The contents and calculation method are modified each year to keep being relevant. What is significant about this ranking is that the measurement of arts and cultural sectors are included. For example, payments on music apps, book sales online, numbers of museums and cinemas. A visual profile of each city was also created to represent its overall performance. We selected one example from each tier, and this animated scale chart demonstrates how much disparity exists. It is a huge gap and also huge opportunities for lower cities to transform and adapt. Creative placemaking is a key concept for the arts and cultural management studies, and we're going to dive deeper in the next part. It is also an emerging concept in China. In 2018, Wuhan Placemaking Week has generated international and domestic interest among scholars and professionals. It marked the beginning of the Chinese placemaking network. This is where our project can add value. Third-tier cities are faced with challenges to adapt to the expectation of future cities. They have unlimited potential to be explored to transform into culturally advanced cities.
We continued our research to define where those opportunities are. First, we conducted literature review to better understand the future length of city vitality according to China's 13th Five-Year Plan proposed by State Council of China. China is committed to building new cities from 6 dimensions: livable, green, smart, humanistic, innovative, and compact. These dimensions work together to enhance the well-being of citizens and create a thriving community. We look into the definitions and the meanings of these 6 dimensions and refer to credible resources to connect indicators to measure them. This work has laid a solid foundation for our design because these indicators are forward-looking and describe a more balanced development model. For instance, future cities are more livable. A livable city is a city with a beautiful environment, social security, civilization progress, comfortable life, economic harmony, and high reputation. A livable city is balanced among environmental, social, and economic factors. Take Qingdao as an example, a new emerging first-tier city with a pleasant climate and increasing GDP and a good reputation. Qingdao ranks number 4 in a recent consumer satisfaction evaluation report of 100 cities issued by the China Consumer Association.
Now let's look at city vitality with the lens of creative placemaking so that we can better understand the potential value of it. American Planning Association defines creative placemaking as a process where community members, artists, arts and cultural organizations, community developers, and other stakeholders use arts and cultural strategies to implement community-led changes. Here, we incorporated 7 community capitals, a framework brought up by Flora and Flora. The Flora suggested that the lifeblood of any community can be linked to the presence and strength of 7 community capitals, resources that can be invested or tapped for the purpose of promoting the long-term well-being of communities. The 7 types of capital from left to right are social, natural, economic, human, cultural, built, and political. With the help of creative placemaking case studies and the framework of 7 community capitals, we can look into how exactly creative placemaking is adding value to each capital and ultimately to city vitality. We specified 30 intangible community assets here. Creative placemaking can strengthen in the category of each community capital. For example, under social capital, creative placemaking can enhance equity, civic engagement, and the sense of belonging. This is an overview of how creative placemaking projects over the world have worked on advancing each of the 6 dimensions of city vitality. Let's look at an example closely. The Whirligig Park project is a bottom-up, cross-sector collaborative placemaking project where residents of Wilson spontaneously gathered to protect their unique cultural asset, Whirligig. They leverage Whirligig into an economic engine of entrepreneurial job creation and tourism. From the standpoint of advancing human capitals, this process of bottom-up decision-making is stimulating the development of social civilization through advanced citizen engagement. The project also created 17 temporary and 2 longer-term jobs for local unemployed youth. Job creation lowered the chance of crimes and hence increased public safety and facilitated economic affluence of residents in the community. Both strengthened factors are components of a livable city, as Joy mentioned earlier. Integrating our program studies, we generated our research question. To what extent can creative placemaking help third-tier cities in China advance city vitality?
During the research, we look closely at the databases which we think are authoritative and reliable, such as NEA, American Planning Association, 120 Good Practices, and etc. We studied the cases where arts and culture and creative placemaking can add value to city vitality, whether to build a greener city, smarter city, or livable city aligning to the 4 UN SDG we're aiming for. The listed are the major approaches and sources we use in the project research and development. We have conducted interviews with people from different backgrounds among the field of arts and culture, including city planners, artists, students, a museum director, a curator, an art educator, and a young professional. Now, let us experience our project through the video.
Third-tier cities are homes to 28% of the entire population in China. These are the cities with high potentials, low resources, and insufficient city planning.
这个时代的规划也是紧密围绕着这个经济增长来进行服务的。可以说，引用这个也是规划一位权威专家叫吴富龙的教授的一句话，就是说为增长而规划，这是那个时代规划的显著的特点。
Have you ever thought of renovating the city without having to tear down the aging buildings with the remarkable trace of time and history? Have you ever aspired to change the city you live in from a commuter town where people only come back to sleep to a vibrant community with diverse functions and abundant activities? We dream of building future cities that are livable,
Green,
Smart, innovative,
compact,
and humanistic. That's why we want to introduce creative placemaking to audiences in third-tier cities as a way of advancing city vitality from the above angles.
创新这块的话，其实是中国在下一个阶段产业发展、经济发展，包括长时间往前发展的最核心的驱动力。之前的这种蜿蜒式的增长，实际上已经是难以为继了。所以说，结合这两个大的背景吧，我认为你说的这个方向是中国城市发展的一个必然的趋势，更好的为人的这种创造性的存在提供支撑。 我觉得场所营造这个概念，如果说它优点是什么的话，首先呢，就是它可以把就是我们过去所忽视的这个空间本身啊，它应该能够具有一些跟人在情感上连接的一种工具去激发起来。
实际上，规划行业、设计行业本身是创意产业。有个大师说叫建筑是思想的容器，这是那个王树说的。但是我后来我又加了一句话，我说规划是修养的沙盘。那么对三星文化创意城市、人文城市、创意城市，我想这都是所有城市的未来。我认为场所的营造的重要性是这个大家都认识到了。
在798有一个3D艺术展览，这个东西呢就和高科技和中国发展，现在高科技发展这么快哦，它是密切相关的。
People very like to be involved in this interactive process. For example, the Simple Home pianos is a special project. I feel very honored to be involved and be invited to that project because I feel right now my city in Xi'an, it starts with the public art, and people living in the city, they need to be loved, they need to be involved in the vivid cities.
Our research can benefit the cities that are in urgent need of transformation. We selected Tangshan as a pilot city to apply our model. Tangshan is a typical traditional industrial city in transition. Due to the reducing natural resources and the increasing awareness of environmental protection, the city government has been promoting transformation. For example, a previous coal mine is now a large green park. The mine that is no longer in use is changed into a coal mine museum. In addition, Tangshan experienced a serious earthquake that took away millions of lives. An earthquake museum was built upon the remains. The cultural memory is still influencing the people in Tangshan, and from these examples, we can see my hometown Tangshan does not shy away from renewal and innovation. Through the comparison of advanced creative placemaking cases, we believe that Tangshan has a lot of room for improvement in the design, development, and utilization of its existing resources. For example, the Mine Museum in Tangshan and High Line in New York are both creative placemaking projects that transform abandoned industrial sites to parks. We compare the employment opportunities that the place contributes to the city, the number of engaging events that are curated by the place, the integrity of the city planning, and the relationship between the place and the citizens. There are still gaps and great potentials for the development of the Mine Museum. No matter from the perspective of 6 city dimensions or 7 community capitals, using the advanced experience of creative placemaking to reintegrate existing resources is of great significance to the development of the city. In order to seize the opportunities we identified, we are very proud to present our solution, Creative Placemaking Strategic Alliance, which mission is to facilitate cross-sector collaboration and data-informed decision-making and share best practice in creative placemaking. The Alliance offers 2 main services, collaborative seminar and creative placemaking data portal. The seminar will gather stakeholders from multiple fields, such as urban designer, city planner, creative agency, educational institute, art organizations, and artists. On the first day, we will invite experts in the field of creative placemaking and urban planning to share. The whole city will also be invited to present the challenges and visions of the city planning. What's unique about our seminar is that it's also an action learning lab. So on the second day, we will curate a very special tour for participants to reimagine possibilities on site. And on the third day, they will form 7 working groups according to the 7 community capitals to further design and do a quick prototype with artists and creative agencies. One desired outcome is to bring people on board to contribute to our data portal.
Thank you, Eric. I'm going to start by introducing the value proposition canvas of our data portal, which addresses the pains and gains of the customers who are mainly participants of our seminar, like city planners and creative agencies. Since community engagement is always an afterthought of city planning in third-tier cities, urban planners have to gather information from a variety of sources, which is very time-consuming. Thus, our data portal is aiming to offer a one-stop solution that maps out the creative resources and connects it directly with the value of placemaking. The portal also facilitates users to make data-informed decisions. They could customize the layers and viewports to filter information they need specifically. It's also highly interactive and responsive to different map scales. We selected the data from the collaborated seminar to include the portal strategically by integrating the learnings from our research and collaborated network. Other than the currently available measurement of city attractiveness and practice of urban planning, we add indicators of creative placemaking, 6 dimensions of city vitality, and regroup them into 7 community capitals. This is a mock-up visualization of CPSA's Creative Community Data Portal. We encourage our partners to contribute to our portal with public available databases. Imagine it as an interactive map. Users are able to either filter or overlap the visual information by selecting which layer to display. Type and search Tangshan, the map will show up the scale, which provides the overview and general data of Tangshan. You can zoom in to get more detailed information of Tangshan's assets from another scale with a different dataset. From the layer list, we could see the indicators are classified by 7 community capitals. For instance, by checking the natural and cultural asset, the relevant content will pop up on the map, and the viewports on the right side, such as air quality as part of the natural asset, and geographical locations of cultural facilities as the cultural asset of Tangshan. By clicking on the pins or continue to zoom into a larger scale, the user could look closely at a specific community. Like South Lake Park in Tangshan, the map marks the time and locations of the arts and cultural activities that happen there, welcoming users to investigate and engage.
We understand that a comprehensive tool like this will take years to build, and both the portal development and a collaborative seminar require multi-stakeholders engagement. So stage 1, we start with the existing data at one pilot city. We have already generated some interest among key partners. In 2022, we plan to launch the beta version of the Creative Community Portal and host the first seminar in Tangshan. In 3 years, we plan to introduce this solution in 5 to 10 cities to increase visibility. In 2030, we hope our solution could be applied to all 70 third-tier cities and open this platform to college students and the general public. We have a strong belief in our project. 28% of the total population are based in third-tier cities. 22% of the national economy are contributed by these cities, and 10% of the beautiful land and all life live upon this area will be benefited from this work. In order to achieve China's national strategy of developing culturally advanced cities in all-round manners, we cannot leave the third-tier cities behind. Let's have a conversation and collaborate to make this happen. Thank you so much for listening. Please don't hesitate to contact us if you want to hear more or reach out for collaborating opportunities. Thank you.